Good morning. I want to talk about my taste and the gaps in my taste, and I want to ask what kind of Signum you all might like. I'm aware that so the Signum is pretty bare bones, obviously, and it's adjustable, so you can adjust it to fit your exact, your finger lengths and exactly how you want it to fit. But not everyone takes advantage of that, and some people just do the regular grid layout where the keys are right next to each other, which is fine. Obviously, it's just preference and your choice of ergonomics of whatever's comfortable for you. And I like the keyboard to be able to support all those choices, which it does, but the fact of the matter is not a lot of people make use of it. This brings me to my preferences. I seem to like things that are kind of a little bit janky, kind of look unfinished. They look like prototypes. This is pretty consistent throughout my design career, and that's not necessarily something that everyone likes. There are also things in my taste that I actively dislike, and I might actively dislike them because I've never liked them, or I might actively dislike them because they're everywhere and being done by everyone, and I don't want to be like everyone. I don't want to make a product that tries to outdo someone else in a thing that I don't like doing. Pick your battles kind of thing. But there are some overlaps for alternative designs that people might enjoy. I have a board that I shared a bit ago on video, one of my recent customs, that I really liked, and I was kind of surprised because it goes against a lot of my design principles. But it was big and heavy and shiny and nice, and it was just great. And I started thinking, I could make something like this, but what are the limitations? So the sacrificing of some button layouts, some, if you want the column to be a little bit taller, you would have to fix where the keys go. Or I think I would probably set it up for two configurations, either having a vertical stagger layout where your fingers are more like this on the rows or the columns, and then a straight grid layout where they're more horizontal. Because the other thing is, the Signum series supports the thumb paddles, and if someone just wants thumb paddles, then and they're fine with a grid layout or something that isn't even that, not very ergonomic, at least with the vertical stagger, then you could have a normal grid layout with a partial split that has thumb paddles, so you could get access to that without things being too complicated. The other thing is, if the keyboard has has one design and one option essentially for the way the switches go, or two options, then it's a lot easier for me to put it together, and there's less back and forth with the person buying it, so it would make it less expensive for me to assemble these keyboards and sell them. So the assembled keyboards would cost less. The other thing is, if I build it with a plate and with a switch, with the switch positions already designed or already laid out so that they're not adjustable, then I can do Hotswap sockets. And if I could do the Kale Hotswap sockets, which look pretty nice. There's other ones that are like little adjustable SIP sockets kind of things, and I don't know about those. I haven't messed around with them, but maybe I should. So there are options for, there's a gradient always. There's a range that goes from totally pre-made keyboard that is how I say it is and deal with it, all the way down to totally unmade, very wide open options, ergonomic keyboard that you can build however you like, as long as you build it. So somewhere in the middle is something of value. And as far as circuit board design goes, when people contact me with custom layouts, and I'm happy to do them because I've got so much practice designing circuit boards that it's not very difficult for me to drop a few hours into a modification of an existing layout and rerun all the traces, just to get a custom circuit board out. And then they've got something that's, you know, fitted to them, even more so. But once that circuit board is designed, it's like, that's it, it's designed, you're done, the work is over. And that's a valuable thing. I don't like the idea of having like a whole bunch of different lines of the product, even though it doesn't take too much to hold on to them, too much storage space, I mean. So adding more models would not be a big deal. It's just the initial work of getting them designed. But I want to know what parts or what components or what things interest you about the Signum and what things don't interest you about the Signum, because then I'll just like make it, you know, modify it so that we can fit, so make something that fits where a gap in where the Signum is right now. Because, you know, making it prettier is not something I would normally do, but when I was done with that custom, I was like, this is really nice and I really like it. It kind of surprised myself there. So, you know, I'm open to the potential always of being absolutely horribly wrong. So that's the let me know what you think about that. This also applies to other things. I have been hunting with my 22 for a while, and I was watching some videos about squirrel hunting, and the 410 shotgun came up, and I've had some interest in a 410 shotgun, but it never really made a lot of sense to me. I'm a little bit too practical for it. But then I found out about some old style 410 shotguns that were bolt action, and like a bolt action 410 shotgun, like that is weird, and I like it. And as far as I know, they're not making them anymore. I don't know why someone would make a 410 shotgun, a bolt action 410 shotgun. So they're old. They're, you know, it's an old style that's not done these days. And I have a few of those kind of rifles where they're very different, and they're just kind of old, and they've got their own style, their own appeal. And it just kind of makes me think about my taste overall, and what that says about me, and where it might be giving me blind spots. You know, where my taste might be blinding me from something that might actually be useful, or something I might actually enjoy. But there's always that, as Nut and Fancy says, the third kind of cool, or the second kind of cool, where you just say, I just like it, you know. It's like, I just like it. You always have the argument in the gun shop of like, okay, what gun for this specific situation? And then the answer is like, oh, well, this one. Okay, why? Okay, well, here's the reasons why. Okay, maybe. Well, I think this one. Okay, well, why? Okay, well, I think this and this and this. Okay, well, that's a pretty good argument. All right. But what about you? What do you think? Well, I think this weird gun. Oh, no, that wouldn't work. Why? Oh, because I like it. Okay. You get a little bit of a veto with like, I like it. It's just cool. The other thing is that if they're tools and you like them, you tend to spend more time with them, and time on them, and time learning them, and you get better with them. You know, the hours of working with a tool fly by, rather than struggling with something you don't like, or that doesn't work as you expect. And this is, you know, this transfers to it's all tools, frankly. You know, you use a keyboard that you like, and I mean, even if you don't type faster on it, you're just like, I'm just having a better experience for this. Like, this makes me feel better. This gives me this guy Wrangler Star, he calls it the fizz. Like, I feel the fizz when I pick this up, when I use this. Like, I feel a little whoo. It feels good. And I don't have any practical explanation of, well, here's why. Here's a flow chart. I brought a pros and cons chart of why this is a good thing. No, some stuff you just like it. So I guess the other thing is I don't really like shotguns just in general. So a 410 is the least shotgun a shotgun can be, essentially. Like I have an old 12 gauge. It's a Eastfield or Smith & Wesson 916, I think, and it had some weird problems, and it was pretty beat up. It was like a police use one or something, so it just got knocked around a lot, possibly shot a lot, who knows. And a lot of the parts were just worn out and broken. It's been kind of a project gun for a while, and like, as much as I would like to just like, for as much trouble as it gave me, like, that was the only gun I thought about, like, just parting out, or just like destroying the receiver. Like, I can't. It's just difficult for me to say, you know, this is a thing that has some use. It just needs a little bit of work, and then it'll be useful again. And then say, this is a thing that needs too much work. If it doesn't get enough work, someone might use it, and it might even be dangerous if it's in need of repair and it's used improperly. Like, just the idea of destroying it, I guess, kind of like cutting your losses and just destroying it and being like, all right, we're done with this. I dislike that, even though it might be a good idea. So, I don't know. It seems to work all right now. There's another weird issue I haven't figured out yet. Just like, man, shotgun actions are a mess. Just really, really annoying to work with. Especially these older ones. This is a very unpopular, I guess, shotgun. There were not a lot of units made, so there's not a lot of units that survived, and there's not a lot of information on them. It's like you can't really quickly Google and find stuff out and see what you need to do or what parts you might need. So you're kind of flying blind, which makes it a more interesting project for someone like me. So that in itself has value to me. But again, we're still talking about a shotgun, a practical shotgun that is meant to be used for, you know, hunting. Even though it's not particularly ideal for that, but, you know, close enough, whatever. But like the 410 shotgun, that's cool. That's interesting to me for whatever reason. I also like that. I guess this is true. I don't know. It seems true. No, I guess it is true. A lot of the older guns, they just seem to hang around longer. And that's not to denigrate a lot of the current, the modern firearms that are being developed now. It's all really good stuff, except for, apparently, for the American-made AKs, for some reasons I don't quite understand. But simple guns, simple actions, you know, simple steel. A lot of that stuff was injection molding, metal injection molding, which is technically it's not a big deal. Like, I wouldn't say chemically, metallurgically, it's apparently not supposed to be a big deal. It just depends on how much effort goes into it. You can make low effort MIM, and you can make high effort MIM. It's like transmission parts are so complicated, it makes more sense to metal injection mold them, and transmission parts get a lot of torque. But you can get low quality and you can get high quality, so that's just the deal. You can't just categorically say that's not a thing that is good. So I don't know, the fact that they're just around still and functional is perhaps a testament to the construction. Or maybe I'll get this one and it'll just about die when I pick it up, and I'll have to spend a bunch of time and effort putting it together. We'll find out. But seriously, that has not been my experience. So it's just interesting, I guess.